We want to break down what exactly happened with the catastrophic flooding across the Hill Country and Central Texas. Now, I'm going to touch briefly on some of the meteorological aspects that factored into the significant rainfall in a short period of time. Remember Barry, the remnants of Tropical Storm Barry, which was only a named storm for 12 hours in the Gulf before landfall. Remnants of Tropical Storm Barry ended up kind of filtering across parts of the Lone Star State. That gave us a significant amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Couple that with a significant amount of moisture that already existed before Barry made landfall and tracked through the Lone Star State once again. So that was kind of factor number one, a lot of moisture for the atmosphere to be able to work with. The second factor is what's called our low-level jet stream. It's about 5,000 feet or so above the surface. It's very typical across Texas, and based on a couple of upper level features in the atmosphere, the orientation of that jet stream was oriented more towards the Hill Country by the end of last week. Now, a couple of more things. First, yes, Barry largely contributed to the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, but that wasn't the only disturbance that was overhead. There was yet another disturbance that was directly overhead across western and southwestern parts of Texas. Couple that with a trough that moved in from West Texas, and that created the evolution of a very slow-moving storm. So anytime we're talking significant moisture content and a nearby disturbance, plus the fact that there's not a lot of steering in the atmosphere to move that storm along, that creates that flood or flash flood potential. Now, drought levels across parts of the Hill Country over the last several months have remained at the highest level. Exceptional drought levels were in place across parts of Kerr County and towards the Guadalupe River, which once again, when those riverbeds are so dry, there isn't the ability for that dry ground to soak in some of that rainfall. So it creates kind of that funneling effect along the riverbeds, especially whenever you have a substantial amount of rain in a short period of time. That's what contributes to the amount of flash flooding that happened. Now I want to show you the evolution on our satellite and radar beginning from last week. This starts as far as the evolution of the upper level disturbance, that spin in the atmosphere, which we often refer to as a mesoscale convective vortex. This satellite and radar image starts from last Thursday morning. So you can see widely scattered showers and thunderstorms. We ended up seeing some of that spin form towards the Hill Country. You can see that kind of complex of storms south and east of San Angelo. This is late Thursday night. Again, the bulk of the activity still west of I-35, and there isn't a very organized spin in the atmosphere, but it is still evident. Basically, the remnants of showers and storms that were ongoing earlier in the day and over the last couple of days across western parts of the state, as well as areas to the south and west, created some of those outflows, allowed for more of a circulation to form in the atmosphere. And sure enough, that circulation became much more kind of tucked in as far as the orientation is concerned of the circulation. So it's a little bit tighter now. And this is early Friday morning when we started to see some of those early morning flash flood warnings issued. Now, as the day wears on Friday, you can see the bulk of those showers and storms really don't go anywhere. Once again, creating that catastrophe, that catastrophic flooding, with those heavier rain bands continuing mainly across the southern periphery of the circulation or that spin in the atmosphere. So let's continue throughout the day on Friday. Showers and storms continue, and that's largely whenever we saw a little bit of a break was late Friday into early Saturday across parts of the Hill Country. But beginning early Saturday morning, we started to see a smaller scale feature develop on satellite and radar west of I-35 and north and west of the Austin area. This smaller scale feature also had the makings of that circulation, that area of low pressure, creating once again substantial rainfall rainfall in a very short period of time. As the day wore on, notice that circulation really doesn't go anywhere. We started to see it wobble a little bit to the south and southwest by Saturday night, finally giving the central Texas area a little bit of a break there.